Hey guys, I finally found Megazord, as they're calling it, also known as Minizord. If you guys watched Ninja Storm, you might remember Minizord, that's who he's based on. Actually, they're almost the same size. Once again, cool box art, and it comes with 2 Ranger keys instead of one of those barely painted Rangers. It says Ninja Storm and Space, and it shows Space and Ninja Storm. I guess somebody was confused when they did the packaging. They did 2 keys, and it would have been really awesome to have had Silver Space and Green Samurai from Ninja Storm, but instead we get 2 more Red Rangers. Space, Ninja Storm, and then speaking of Ninja Storm, now it could be like the Green Ranger's Zord from Ninja Storm. You can put the key in, and that makes his propeller thingy go. That reminds me of something you might see in a cartoon, right? They did change this quite a bit from Japan, and they did kind of some interesting things, actually. So here we have Minizord, like you saw on Ninja Storm or Super Megaforce. And now you can take off his thing, which can go either way, by the way. This isn't really official, but you can. But whichever way you like. If you're displaying him, you probably want to see the gold. Gives him a little more color. Take that off. He can stand on it, which he kind of does on the show. This will like be spinning, and he'll come flying in. On the back, there's this thing. This pulls off. This side is Space, this side is Ninja Storm. This just plugs in. Take these things and move them up like that, and push this thingy down. Then you put the chest piece on. This splits in half, and this plugs into his back. This represents the Mega Winger from Power Rangers in Space. This is exclusive to the American version. The Japanese version doesn't have any space form, so this is, I think, pretty cool. Alright, I put him back in Minizord mode, and now we'll transform him. Take his thingy off. He separates, just lift up. There's his upper body. Then you have these pieces, take them off. His legs, just come off like that. Take his body, turn it around. That fits on like that. And we take his chest piece, turn it around to the Ninja Storm side. That snaps in to the front like that. And this just fits inside. Take his legs, which have Zord builder ports on either side. Those plug in. For Ninja Storm, these come up. Take off his helmet, and then that sits on there. And there you have Ninja Storm Megazord. Legendary something. This also can come off. Take the Zord builder port, and then he can actually hold that. And now for in Space, lift his helmet up, hands come back. See what I'm doing here? They fold up like that. And there's his Mega Winger helmet. Chest comes out, just flip it around, and it goes right back to where it was, but on the other side. He's got his Zord builder ports on the back, and those just plug in like that. And there you've got the Mega Winger Megazord. Legendary in Space Mega Winger Megazord, I guess. He's also compatible with Q-Rex. These come down, if you don't already have them down here. I like them up higher. They're like sort of different sizes, so you might have to pull this one up to make it a little longer. That way they're kind of more even. And there you have that. And then he can sit on the Megazord shoulder, which he does on the show. Lift up the Zord builder port, and you can stick it on there, like that. That'll stay there now. Stand on that. This makes him a little too heavy to stand on the Megazord, so you have to take his... yeah. And then it's up to you guys to experiment with all the different Zord builder things you can do with him. That's actually kind of cool. That reminds me of Samurai Megazord, right? With the disc that we didn't get in the US. Oh, thanks to Trevor on Facebook. I don't think I knew this about Q-Rex. Did you guys know that his drill comes off? And there's a Zord builder port under there? I don't think I knew that. If I did, I forgot. So then you can take this, and then he can have like a shield. Oh, and it... hey, and this... look at that! Hang on. You can take your key, you can make a shield spin. Ah, so then anything you put on here will spin. There is, of course, a pretty big difference between the Japanese and American version. Here are the Megazords. There are things I like about both of them. Of course, I love the Japanese version because everything just comes out. Even though the Japanese version doesn't always work the way it should. It's very hard to get all the flaps to open at once and stay open. I still really like that. I wish they could have designed it better. And I love how all the stuff sticks out of him. This area feels very hollow. This kind of doesn't. His head might be a little bit better, but of course the paint job. He's got nice metallic paint on the Japanese version. You don't get all these great spiky things on the American version that stick out of him. And you can still do this thing. This doesn't spin. This one you can. But it's easier for him to stand on his... What do you call this thing? Whatever you want to call this thing on the American version. And the Zords. So even the Megazord can kind of stand on it. It's so big. So that's kind of a nice improvement on the American version. They're pretty different, so whichever one you prefer, or both. Alright, let's see how I do on my first try. Did I get it? No. Okay, like this didn't come up. Oh, I got... Wow, that didn't do too well at all. And you just manually take that, push it in. And then to do this again, it takes forever to put all the things back in. It's a pain. Gotta fold them all back in, and they never want to go. Come on, get back in there. Yeah! No! Get back in here. Yeah. And this is especially difficult. Alright, fold these things back in. And then I think it has to be like that. And then this, so you have to push all these things in. Okay, one more time. Yeah. You can imagine how many tries it's taken me to just get a couple good takes. I still love it. It's still really cool. But, you know, Japan isn't always perfect. There are actually buttons on Gokaiyo that will release all these things, which is kind of cool. No question, he looks quite a bit nicer. Nicer paint, nicer plastic. He's shinier, he's got the stickers. If you look at the back of the box, it shows that the prototype even had paint on the legs. They really didn't paint him much at all. Press his shoulder things and these come out. Pretend that's spinning. So he just kind of flies along on this thing. And then he's got big giant version that he can ride on. So they're two entirely different things. It's totally not the same. Both are cool in different ways. I think it's really cool that he has it in space mode. I believe this concludes the Super Megaforce toy line for Zord Builder 2014. It's crazy how the time flies. We're already at the end of September. At the end of November, we can probably expect to start seeing some Dino Charge stuff. Probably Black Friday or maybe early December. It's usually when Toys R Us gets a small shipment of next year's stuff in. Oh, I'd wanted to do another costume video, but let me at least put the info here if I don't get to it soon. September 26th, the Toys R Us promo code ends. So we just saved 30% on another suit. We got the Blue Ranger and Pink Ranger just came in the mail. So now we have silver, blue, and pink. And we got Mia another costume. Now she's blue. You got your sword. Let's see the sword. Once again, this costume is intended for kids, for people that are older who are like wanting this as like a cosplay thing. It's going to be very tight.
Yeah, it probably isn't going to fit anyone bigger than me.
And she's, I mean, Mia looks good in it because she's a girl, so it becomes like, you know, a nice looking costume. For adults, I would not recommend this, if you could even fit. I can get this up to about my knees and that's it. They have certainly done some better masks for Halloween in the past. The costume itself, I think, looks pretty good. You've got the Pink Ranger costume finally. This was ToysRUs.com. So this actually has a skirt. This material is actually kind of shiny. It's pretty. The gloves are sold separately. We got these at Walmart. How do you like the new mask?
It's painful.
What do you think of this costume?
It's pretty well.
In relation to the others?
This one was actually a little easier to get on.
Really?
Maybe because it doesn't have all the muscles.
Oh, huh. It's only the Toys R Us suits that come with the Ranger key. If you go to Walmart or Kmart or Target, you're not going to get the key. And for the Pink Ranger suit, I think you have to get it on Toys R Us online. ToysRUs.com, link in the description, promo code in the description. It saved us $9 on the Blue Ranger suit, so it's a pretty good deal. Alright, I think that's it for this video. So I'll be back soon with more good videos. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys for watching, and good night.